It's the plug bus with Diego and Just. It's the plug bus with Diego and Just. It's the plug bus with Diego and Just. It's the plug bus with Diego and Just.
How's it going, guys?
How's it going? How is it going? It's going well. That was the sound of a cat jumping off of the desk.
There's so many cats.
We have 2 cats.
Yeah, it's not that many,
For all those who have missed anything, we now have 2 cats rather as opposed to 1, and they are leaving the room. Welcome to the Plug Plus, where Joss sculls a long neck and we see what happens.
That's not happening. But I've got a Heininger Lager long neck.
Heininger.
It's probably Heininger. Shout out to Such Big Water, and specifically shout out to the member of Such Big Water that left this full in my car. I'm drinking it now. It is the weekend, so you know
it's the freaking weekend, baby.
And I don't know who it was, but someone didn't drink it, and it was in my car. I thought it was empty for the longest time, and it wasn't.
Ooh, that's kind of gross.
So
thank you to that member of Such Big Water.
Yeah, shout out to
Not that I'm drinking it.
But yeah, what are we talking about today, Diego?
Well, today we're actually going to talk about. It was a bit up in the air, but I think we're going to talk about the various roads of Sydney.
Oh yeah.
Is there anything else you want to talk about?
Like we were saying, maybe we'll touch on just transport New South Wales in general.
In general, yeah.
But don't come into this thinking, this is Factory Theatre Part 2. They're calling out the entirety of New South Wales transport.
But
no,
that's too obvious.
Yeah, too obvious.
It's too obvious.
Look, and it's kind of like it's not our brand, you know. Factory Theatre that definitely fits our brand. Not that
I think
not that we like to keep on brand. Or anything like that.
No. I think this is more of an attack on the convicts who built the city.
Legit.
Because it was not built on rock and roll. It was built on Heininger long necks and getting fucked up, and that is evident in the
not a good recipe for making good roads.
No, it's pretty bad, to be completely honest. But look, if you live in Sydney, you would know. Well, we're obviously not here to talk about how lovely and beautiful Sydney roads are, because that's terrible. That's just not the case. They're awful. They're pretty bad.
And just driving in Sydney, for reasons because of the roads, but also just other reasons. Sucks.
Yeah. It's just the roads is where it all happens. You know.
Absolutely.
So I didn't want to make a podcast called our gripes with Sydney drivers.
Yeah, because a lot of people watching this are Sydney drivers.
Exactly.
Look,
and I'm sure you're fine.
Exactly. No, I'm sure you guys aren't. Let's be real. Everyone fucking sucks at driving.
Yeah, it's true, including myself. Our cats are about to
what the fuck
fight,
was that?
Maybe? No? Okay.
Carly did some weird shit just then, but yeah, anyway. Where should we start?
Okay, so
I remember we kind of had a top 5. We wanted to say our top 5 least favorite roads.
Well, I don't know if I'm going to be able to do that because I started just before we started recording. I started comprising a list of all the Sydney roads that I hate.
Sweet.
I got 25 in a few minutes.
I was going to say a top 5 would be hard.
A top 5 would be truly.
Should we start at the worst one and then kind of backtrack?
What's the worst?
I think that would be good. Oh, look, I think it's pretty obvious. Can we go 3, 2, 1? Say what we think the worst road in Sydney is. All right, I think this is an easy one.
Yeah.
Let's go. 3, 2, 1. Parramatta Road.
Easy.
I mean, I don't think anyone's a stranger to how shite Parramatta Road is.
If you're thinking to yourself right now, Parramatta Road's not that bad, then you have obviously only ever driven on there at midnight, and even then, are you sure? You know what I mean? It's just.
But that's the thing, man. I've driven on Parramatta Road at
1 o'clock or something.
1 o'clock or not even 11 p.m.
Yeah.
And it is fucked.
Crap.
And I'm why?
Why?
Where are all these people going at 11 p.m.? Parramatta? I don't believe.
Well, yeah. My question is, I think this might contribute to how bad it is, but especially on a night like tonight, Friday night, there's so many gigs on and stuff like that. It's, 11 p.m. Of all the people driving back on the roads heading to quote unquote Parramatta, I wonder how many of them are fucking I wonder how many of them are shit-faced, frankly.
Yeah, so true.
It's 11 p.m. on a Friday. There's no way none of those people are sober.
Yeah.
I mean, there is no way none of those people are drunk. Yeah.
Yeah.
There's no way.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. I know. I don't actually know if I know anyone that publicly admits to just driving.
No, because it's fucking stupid.
It is really stupid.
Obviously not.
And,
why? Because they wouldn't admit to it. Even if they did do it, they wouldn't admit to it.
But yeah, no, it just Parramatta Road stinks.
And it's not. And it's obviously first and most obvious problem is the congestion. But on top of that is like the road itself. Like it's just crap.
Like
It's poorly done.
I mean, this is the thing with like a lot of Sydney roads, but just like potholes, man.
Potholes.
Like some roads, driving down them, it's like I'm playing like a video game, you know?
It's
trying to avoid all
it's
the fucking
straight up
things and potholes and like just random, just ridiculous shit that's on the road.
It's incredible for a road that is kilometers and kilometers of straight. How much you have to use the steering wheel.
Not to mention, fucking where Sydney was built, it's like it's not flat, you know?
No.
Like it's all hills, and it like that shit sucks driving on, you know?
It's awful.
And I think Parramatta Road's like one of the worst offenders in that regard, because you're going like up and down and up and down and up and down and up and down.
There's I figured out where the choke point is. It's after the lights that go to like Leichhardt on your left and like Lewisham on your right, those big lights with the red light camera, where the Benji Marshall mural is, for anybody who knows.
Well, I mean, it'd be Leichhardt on your right and Lewisham on your left.
Well, it depends which way you're going.
Shit, true. I didn't think about it like that.
Yeah. So if the Benji Marshall mural's on your left, then Leichhardt's on your left, Lewisham's on your right. That traffic light going all the way up to, I think it's that traffic light, and then there's one more, and then the Crystal Street traffic lights. In between there is where all the crap happens.
Yeah.
Because they all go red and green and red at different times that make no sense.
That's where I've got that's where I got one of my only two
offenses.
What do you call it? Traffic offenses. Yeah. And it was for running a red light, which I don't ever remember doing.
and to this day, we don't know why you would have been driving on that road at that time.
No, yeah. I mean, this happened twice to me now, where both times I've been like, what? Why was I there at this time? The other time, oh my God, don't even get me started.
Yeah, here we go.
I mean, I feel like this is a fair point to bring up when it comes to city roads, and just like the traffic rules that like go along with it, because, you know, there's a lot of oh, hey Tony, how's it going? What's it called? Like revenue raising and shit. Like that is a big factor to why driving in Sydney stinks. And the second ticket I got was over here in Strathfield on a street called the Boulevard, which frankly not that bad a street.
Not that bad.
Like if we like, you know, I'm talking some of Sydney's worst roads, but like I don't think it would crack the 25.
Nah,
you know?
Probably not.
But like,
it's kind of like the average road.
Yeah, but I got done. Oh, you're getting a call. Should you answer it in the podcast?
No, absolutely not.
Absolutely not.
It's going to be the Chinese embassy. They always call me.
But what do you call it? I got done for doing 51 in a 40 zone during like school hours, but it was actually a staff development day. So shout out to them.
Shout out to the staff.
So I contested it. I mean, I looked it up and it said like, you know, they're allowed to fine you on staff development days.
Which is insane.
It is pretty insane. Like, by the way, for those who don't know what that means, no students at school. Not a single student. Barely even staff at school.
Yeah, barely.
You know? How many teachers want to develop? None. Not me. Especially in December, like 22nd or whatever the fuck day it was.
Yeah, who's developing at that point? Yeah, maybe developing my overtime. So I can get a sweet
legit. Developing some free cash. But yeah, like, I was only 51, man. I got like a $200 fine, so I've contested it. And I was just thinking about this today. I'm like, I haven't actually heard anything back.
There you go.
And it was like a while ago.
It's probably your points are still on hold, probably, which is pretty good.
So yeah.
Anyway, so we basically got to Parramatta Road and got stuck on that one. Are there any?
Not a surprise.
Are there any more? Well, there you go. Ain't that funny?
I mean, I guess that's just the other thing. Is just Parramatta Road is just so congested all the time. Like it just isn't.
All the time.
Like I have only ever boycotted one road in Sydney, and that's Parramatta Road. I genuinely try my hardest to not drive on Parramatta Road anymore.
Another gripe I have with Parramatta Road, if we're going to just keep going, is the bus lane. 6 to 10, 3 to 7. Taxis in it all day long. All fucking day long. And I've never seen a taxi get pulled over. And like scooter riders and motorbike riders in the bus lane.
And police, man. So many police on the road.
It's not your lane.
At like fucking like I've been late to work because I've been pulled over for like an RBT or something.
Not even ambulances use the bus lane.
Yeah, it's so true. And like, you know, like I've just, literally been late to work because an RBT has been set up and it's like slowed traffic down. And I'm like all for like, you know, catching people who are doing the wrong thing. but like not if it affects people who are doing the right thing.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Put them in places, like, obviously I understand, you know, you got to put them in higher traffic areas, but the highest traffic area?
Yeah, the highest traffic area seems unnecessary.
Makes me go insane. Like, I hate when I'm late to things because of, you know, some shit that could have been avoided. Anyway.
What else is wrong with Parramatta Road? All the turning lanes, like all the traffic lights where you're turning, not long enough. And they don't give, there's no notice. So if you're new, even if you've been driving there for like, you know, the first couple of weeks you're driving there, there's just like no notice that a lane becomes a turning lane, and then you're just stuck there.
My boss was actually in an accident today, Leo, on Parramatta Road.
Really?
Yeah.
Really?
So up near Broadway. So I guess technically at this point it's not really Parramatta Road, but it's the same road. It's the same bloody road.
It's the same road. We're talking about the same road.
So you know when you get to Broadway, UTS is up and you're turning left onto Wattle Street?
Yep.
So apparently there was a car next to Leo and he was in the most left lane, turning left. Car next to Leo, and there was a car next to that car, and that car turned into the car next to Leo, which subsequently hit Leo. Oh my
god.
And
how did they turn into that car?
I guess
I saw an interesting accident just picking Maddie up from the station like 2 hours ago.
Oh, really?
There's a bus turning lane that's for the buses to turn right, and there's also a normal layman turning lane also to turn right. And this dude was like towing a boat, and he was in the layman's turning lane. The bus was in the bus turning lane, and this dude. It happened for either of two reasons. One, the bus didn't give the guy towing the boat any room to turn, because like obviously to turn you need room.
You got a boat.
You can't like you cannot try to overtake people in that situation.
Yes.
You just need to let them go first. Or this guy is really bad at driving and just turned so sharp and just hit the bus.
Oh,
so
no.
this dude's poor boat is all scratched up on the side now.
Rough.
Because he hit a bus basically, or a bus hit him. Who knows? But that wasn't even on a bad road. I've seen some shockers on. Yeah, I've seen some shockers in my time.
Let's move on.
Oh, yeah, if we don't talk... one that's not on my list but just popped into mind. What are your thoughts on Harris Street?
Harris Street. See, this is one that I actually am not that, like it's fine.
Yeah.
I drive Harris Street pretty much every day I go to work.
Okay.
And not for, like, a long, like, length of time.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
Like,
it's not
a couple traffic lights. It's not a big road,
no.
like, compared to some others. But, like, I never really have any issues. Like, I find the right turning lanes... there, like, there's never anyone coming up this way because it's like mostly a one-way street.
Yeah.
So it works a lot better when you go to turn right. Like a lot of the time when you go past JMC, I'll turn right to go to work, and like there's never any cars coming up this way.
That's true. Yeah.
And it's mostly like 40-50 zone, I think, which usually like when it's 40-50 for like a lot of people, it means 50-60, and for those people, like 50-60 is like I can deal with that.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah.
I just hate when it's like, you know, a 50-60 zone and people are going like 70,
80.
Like, I'm like, Jesus Christ, bro. Like, where are you in such a fucking hurry to go to, bro?
They cannot be in that much of a rush to get anywhere. And like, if they are, then they've got their priorities all wrong.
It really just bothers me as well, because I'm like, I bet if we, you know, timed it, you'd be getting to your destination maybe 30 seconds ahead of
Maybe.
Like, they're literally like risking lives for the sake of seconds.
Seconds. All right. So if not Harris Street, I did compile a list if we wanted to like rattle some quickly off.
Botany Road.
Botany Road.
I hate Botany Road.
A bit of a crapper.
What about that part on Botany Road where it's like you can only go left to go down to like I think it's Cleveland Street, or no, I think you go left and then you turn right onto Cleveland Street.
Yeah.
But like that's where like Botany Road ends, you know?
Yep.
Like I remember the first time I drove that, I was like, wait, what? Like
I'm most familiar with the rest of Botany Road, so,
which is also pretty crap.
Yeah, so Botany Road goes all the way to freaking Botany, right? And it's always pretty bad. Especially there's that part where the Hong Ha, the pork roll place is, and there's like there's a lane there for parking, and people will just be driving at like 40-50 kilometers an hour, slam the brakes, turn the blinkers on at the same time when they see a spot. You know what I mean? They'll just be like, me.
I mean, that's a whole other thing. Parking. Oh, my God.
Parking,
my God. There's so much to get through.
I've always wanted to go to Hong Ha, but like I can never, there's nowhere to park.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But apparently the pork rolls are amazing, but I've just never been able to.
And like just trying to like turn onto Botany Road off one of like the side streets.
Yeah, like King Street or something like that.
I remember there's been a few times where I'm near like Green Square Station and like trying to like I'll go around the block, which don't get me started because it's so fucking convoluted there.
The whole Green Square sort of area is like a bit fucked.
And like, you know, I'd come out like a side street so I can turn right in the Bonnie Road, or turn right, and it's just inhumanly possible because there's just a constant stream of cars.
100%.
Whenever the light turned red, it just like they just pile up in front of you. No one lets you in. No one lets you in. I've been in situations there where I'm like turning right. I was like, fuck this. Turn left. Work it out another way.
Now that I think about it, there's some days where Bonnie Road's okay, but it really has to be like the middle of the fucking day. It really has to be.
I thankfully don't have to drive in it that much, so.
I drive in it pretty often, I'd say. Yeah, Bonnie Road, bit of a stinker. Should we rank them out of 5 in terms of how much like 5 is how shit they are? Or?
Oh yeah, if Parramatta's a 5 out of 5, I think Bonnie is like a 3.5.
3.5, yeah. I like that. I think 3.5. Not far off of 4, but 3.5 for sure. What are your thoughts on? Look at that. Bonnie Road's literally the first one I thought of. Liverpool Road.
Look, Liverpool Road, shockingly not that bad.
Yeah. There's one spot that's kind of actually no. There's probably a couple of spots that are kind of.
I think there's definitely a couple spots like.
But for the length of road, I think I don't know if I'm conditioned to it or something. But.
Yeah, exactly. I drive Liverpool Road pretty much every day.
Yeah,
and like I don't drive like past the Beacons lighting usually, where like the fitness gym and
Frederick
stuff like
Street,
this. Because I go on to don't get me started on Frederick Street. Woo! That one is like a 4.5 out of 5. But anyway, we'll stick on Liverpool Road for now. But like going past that part is like where it gets a lot worse. Going through Ashfield, bro.
Yeah. Where it's literally one lane.
Kill myself, bro.
It's literally... Well, like, okay, the shittest part about Ashfield, I would not have a problem with that area if people just went 60.
You
get people going there 40, 50. The times I've actually been on that part of Liverpool Road going 60, slim to none.
It's because there's like a light every 2 meters.
Yeah, which I get, but also like if you just drive faster, they'll stay green. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like,
exactly. And the Botany Road dilemma where it's like, you know, there's like a full lane of like parking and stuff like that, and every time you drive through Ashfield, someone's gonna fucking hit the park. And they're just
same issue.
They're going glacial speeds, bro. Like, oh, gotta make sure I get in. Like, oh my god, load the park, bro.
Yeah. I like you said, parking is a whole other fucking thing. Yeah, Liverpool Road's okay. What would you rate it? Maybe like a
2.5.
2.5. So you
honestly like
what the fuck is going on?
What is happening?
Stop doing that. Carly's trying to fucking...
She's lifting the water bowl with her face now. It was with her paw, and now it's with her face.
Oh my god. Okay, so where were we? Liverpool Road, 2.5. I'd probably go 3.
3 is a fair call.
Yeah. I'd probably go 3.
mean, no road in Sydney is,
is a 1 or a 0. What? She's going to fucking spill water everywhere.
Stop that, weird cat.
Stop.
Damn, she really just was like, huh, yeah, what? Can we go Frederick Street?
Let's go Frederick Street. Let's turn left onto Frederick Street here.
This is one I didn't even really think of much
until I just said it. Yeah.
Like, I was just driving home there on Frederick Street, bro. Like, okay, first thing, coming off the City West Link, going like towards Liverpool Road.
Sure.
There's like a Form 1 lane that like is just
at the Bunnings.
Yeah, and it's like almost invisible. Like, so many people, and I think this every time I'm driving through. So many people just don't see it, and like last second they're like, oh shit, I gotta merge.
Yeah, there's no warning of it whatsoever.
It just literally, it isn't like merge now. It's just you get to where it's already formed a 1 lane, and they go form 1 lane. You're like, oh yeah, okay, thanks.
No, I don't even think there's a sign because there's sure as hell not any like dotted lines or anything.
There isn't dotted lines. Or like arrows. All there is a form 1 lane sign. There you go. And it's like where the lanes are.
And it's over. It's on the other side of a traffic light. Like, what's the fucking point?
That just stinks.
Yeah, I hate that. That's truly one of the worst spots in.
Yeah, I get angry at drivers, but it's like I feel like I barely I have no justification to because it's not their fault.
It's just bad. It's just a bad road. Like.
And it's one of the worst paved roads I've driven on.
Oh, yeah.
Like, in the like metropolitan area.
Yeah, it is one of the worst.
It is.
Like,
that is literally like one of the worst mini games in all of Sydney. Yeah. It's like I'm like dodging and weaving. It's
impossible.
Holes.
It's impossible to like. Yeah, it's you no matter what, you will fly out of your seat at some point.
There's parts of it where it's like, you know, that scene in cars where he's like repaving the road, but he just fucking sends it. Like there was literally parts where I see the concrete doing this, you know?
Yeah.
And I'm like, who fucking pays this shit, bro? Lightning McQueen? Jesus Christ, bro.
Thunder McBishop. Okay, yeah, Frederick Street's crap. Going both ways, it's pretty bad, but definitely going towards Liverpool Road is worse. I
Yeah,
would say.
for sure. I mean, yeah, both sides are both as bad as each other.
Both absolute garbage. Okay.
And like there is like a similar thing when you're going towards the City West Link, where it's like two lanes kind of just appear at one point. Like there's no warning or whatsoever.
At the same spot, right? Yeah.
And like for some reason it's like the opposite effect where people know it's coming, so they're like next to you already when it's not even two lanes. I'm like, bro, chill. Like we'll get there when we get there. There's a traffic light there. You have to stop anyway. Like fucking hell, bro.
Yeah, I know what you mean. People like to like start merging when there's still only two lanes.
It's just cringe. It's just so cringe. What else is there?
I put down, I don't know how familiar you are with George's River Road.
That's the one. So if it's off King George's Road,
no,
is it through like Punchbowl and stuff?
It's right here. Oh. It's like, do you know Coronation Parade just over yonder?
I think so.
It's where that ends. It's like where it was like where Bree's house was.
Oh, so like up in Croydon.
Yeah, it's like Croydon.
Yeah, I think I do, because I think it goes up to like, doesn't it go up to King George's Road?
I've never gone that far up it.
Because I think that's the way I used to go to Oliver Hotel.
I think it definitely meets up with Milton Street at some point. The one that, yeah, it does meet up with Milton Street, which is the right turn off of Liverpool Road.
Okay.
Opposite Frederick Street.
Yeah, I don't have that much familiarity.
It's pretty bad. It's crap. It's kind of just like Liverpool Road, but worse.
Sure.
Yeah. And
I mean, King George's Road. Do you drive it that much?
Only for the section between like Canterbury Road and the motorway, basically.
Yeah.
Only that little bit.
I used to drive that to Oliver and it stunk.
Yeah, that does.
I hated driving that road, and I'm so glad I don't have to do it anymore, because it is just always fucking traffic on there, bro.
It's always crap.
Like, it's taken me sometimes like an hour to drive home from work from there, and it's like not even a 30-minute drive.
Yeah, King George's is actually really pretty crap. It's kind of like it's like the Parramatta Road for the north and south.
Sure, yeah.
You know,
absolutely. That's a good way to say it.
I don't know how.
Solid 4 out of 5, I think.
Yeah, because it is very long as well. Like it fucking goes for a while.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's never really good. The lanes and like the turning lanes and stuff like that. There's kind of too many and not enough at the same time.
Yeah. What about City West Link? Do you drive that much?
I don't drive City West Link enough, but I have grown. It has grown on me a lot.
It's definitely the better alternative to Parramatta Road.
Yeah, I think getting to the city, it's a no-brainer. For the most part, I think Parramatta Road is pretty much. I've pretty much abandoned it at night time.
I made the switch like a while ago.
Yeah,
you know, because. But still, like, I would, like, I don't know if it's, like, because of bias, because I drive it, like, all the time, but, like, it's still, like, a solid 4 out of 5 in terms of shittiness.
4, really?
The roads itself are fine. Like, there's no shitty potholes or anything, but, like, it is just always busy.
It's a bit of a clusterfuck all the time, yeah.
And what they've been doing, like...
The construction,
dude, like, it's like... I don't know if anyone's played Disco Elysium before, but it looks grim. It looks like the dystopian town from Disco Elysium, where it's like the world is fucking ending, bro. There's just there's not a tree in sight.
They've
it's
done
just all concrete, all you can see.
I don't know. I mean, you were probably on it today, right?
Yeah.
So like how they've swapped over the exits to go to Victoria Road and the Anzac Bridge, and how they're now opposite. So if you want to go right to the Anzac Bridge, you go on the left 2 lanes. If you want to turn left to Victoria Road, you go on the right 2 lanes.
Hot take, but I actually think it's a good change.
I've thought about this theory in my head for so long. I've thought about, I'm like, why isn't just this the case everywhere?
It makes a lot more sense.
It makes so much more sense to have them just go over the top of one another.
Yeah, because they built the whole bridge that goes around it now. I think it's a good change, but it's just going to take some getting used to.
It takes some getting used to, but
I'm already used to it, but like... Just like for other drivers,
I think
that's why it's another reason it's like a big clusterfuck.
It threw me at first, but I think the big thing is that it immediately there was a noticeable difference there.
For sure.
That's probably the biggest thing that has made City West Link grow on me.
Because that's like that was one of the worst spots, and then like I just can't wait for it to not be a construction zone anymore.
Which I'm not sure it'll ever not be.
Legit, there is so much shit happening there that I'm like, is this ever gonna like be what they want it to be? I don't even know what the fuck they're building, bro. Fuck, sorry, symbol. But like, it's just a mess, bro.
While we're on the topic of bridges, and this is another one that I haven't written down,
Sure.
the Sydney Harbour Bridge.
Like, it's fine.
It's
like,
fine.
It's not like the fucking lanes are pretty narrow.
Yeah.
So I like have some situations where I'm like, this guy needs to chill.
They were
next
really,
to me,
really generous with the amount of lanes they put in there. They were like, we
can fit one. More.
we need 10. We need a nice even number. If we have 9, somebody's getting fired.
Yeah.
Right?
Whereas like Anzac Bridge, like it's
well, not one way, but it's like
fine.
big lanes, you know?
Decent lanes,
Yeah.
like it, and yeah, like and then don't even get me started. Like I don't know what the road is called technically after you get off the Anzac Bridge, and between like there and like
It's like the
Bathurst Street.
A4. Like I think it's like the City West.
It's probably still called City West Lane.
Yeah.
That part's a bit of a clusterfuck. Yeah, you have to get in your right lane to go to the Harbour Bridge, and then your left lane to go to the city.
Yeah. And then there's the tunnels, and then there's the split off to go to either the Harbour Bridge or the city, or you know, and then
Like,
there's
I've had situations
Bathurst Street, and
that's the thing. Like I've had situations before where I meant to go to Bathurst Street. I've just found myself on the Harbour Bridge,
Yep.
and if you find yourself on the Harbour Bridge, you're like that's 15 minutes gone.
more
like
probably.
like
Yeah, I've had situations where it's like I knew where I wanted to go, but there was like I was getting like tailgated so hard, and the people next to me were not letting me in, that I had no choice unless I crashed into somebody
to
just go on the Sydney Harbour Bridge.
let people in. Well, that's my PSA. Let people in.
Unless, okay, my only time I don't let motherfuckers in is when they're like flying up the left lane. And they're meeting like where there's a merge, you know what I mean?
I know what you mean.
If I'm like, if you're coming up next to me, I will not let you in.
Look, even if you're doing the wrong thing, I still usually let people in because it just makes things go quicker, you know? Traffic is just soothed.
Yeah.
I don't want other people to suffer for
I'm a petty bitch though.
Yeah, I get that. I get pettiness. I mean, I get like I think when it gets to the point, especially like going back to Liverpool Road, when you turning left to Frederick Street and turning right onto whatever that street called.
Milton, I think. Milton Street. Milton Road.
Obviously that's a right, like there's no right turning lane there.
Yep.
It's just like the right lane
It's just-
turns
yep,
right,
yep.
or you can go straight. And so many people will get stuck behind the
there.
right people, so they'll just try and merge in front of you. Like in situations like that, I'm like, go fuck yourself. You should just fucking learn the hard way, bro.
You should just know.
Or just
by now.
know, bro. Like
Just know by now.
yeah, like if you're driving down Liverpool Road, like my thing is, I'm assuming it's not the first time for you.
Yeah. It's rarely the first time somebody's driving on Liverpool.
This is your own fucking fault. Like, just, you know, and like, for God's sakes, just fucking wait.
Yeah. Okay. So we've spoken about Liverpool Road, Frederick Street, City West Link, etc., etc. Forest Road.
Forest Road.
Forest Road. Are you familiar with Forest Road at all? It's like the road that goes all through Bexley and like
Yeah. I used to drive Forest Road to get to like teaching. I used to teach in Bexley.
Yeah.
And it's a very hilly area as well, from what I remember.
It is pretty hilly. The Forest Road is so long.
Yeah,
So-
is that the one where it goes? I think it goes all the way down to. You turn left onto.
I think King George's actually.
No, I'm pretty sure you turn left onto. I'm thinking.
Further or?
Yeah, further towards the city.
Sorry. Like Princess Highway.
Princess Highway.
Yeah.
That's what I'm thinking.
Yeah.
Yeah. I definitely remember that road. From what I remember, shit road.
Pretty crap. Because it is so long, it definitely has its separate sections. So there's one. If you're going all the didn't even think about Bexley Road. If you're going,
I didn't even think about Princess Highway. Mate.
Princess Highway is so long that it's kind of like you have to split it up a little bit. But for the most part, it's
fine.
It's okay. It's definitely not. It's definitely not the
could be
worst.
better.
Yeah, it could be better. But the thing is, every road in Sydney could be better.
Yeah.
Every road in Sydney could be better, except I can't think of a single road in Sydney that I'm like, yep, that's a good road.
That's a good road. That's a good road.
That's a good road. The M5, not even a good road.
Like, what's good about the M5?
Wait, let me think. The River Road, that's a pretty good road. Nice and steady for the most part.
Where's the River Road?
It's like a...
Is that towards...
like Picnic Point, it goes to like Milpera.
Yeah, Milpera and stuff like that.
Yeah,
like,
that's a good one.
I know that because of the exit from the M5.
Yeah.
But that's about like...
It's a pretty good road.
That's good.
Yeah, it goes... Yeah, there's like... It does come
Shout
up
out
to like...
the River Road.
Yeah, it does come up to like a really nice river. It's never that busy.
Yeah. I think, there's a lot of shit roads. we got like 30 seconds until we have to take a second.
Quick breather.
So what else should we cover? We need to cover parking. I think we need to cover just like let me get into it, but we need to cover suburbs in a way that I will explain when we get back from the break.
Yeah, okay.
Those are two things: parking and suburbs. There might be some more, but that's it for now. We'll be right back.
Have a quick break. Have
after
a breather.
These, there's no messages. For you, it'll be yeah. We're on.
Okay, so you wanted to talk about parking and suburbs,
and these kind of coincide with each other.
Okay, sure.
So like suburbs, what I'm getting at is how some suburbs are just terrible to drive in.
Yeah.
Because of, namely, the narrowness of the streets. Ashfield. Not even like on the top of my list.
Marrickville.
No, Marrickville's fine. There, I said it. You heard me.
I disagree.
It's alright. Like, it's not. I mean, the inner west is all like but like I'm talking Newtown, bro. I'm talking Enmore,
yeah.
Like those are like the worst offenses.
Yeah,
Glebe, bro. Like,
I think they're the same sort of girth, but there's just more densely packed of streets that are crap.
Imagine, like, so scenario. You're like, hey, we should go to Newtown later today and hang out somewhere. Yeah, sure. Yeah, I'm gonna drive. Wrong. You're not gonna drive because there's nowhere to fucking park unless you want to fork out like $30.
It's so interesting because you get to Newtown and you're like, yeah, we were definitely riding horses when these streets were made.
Legit,
for sure, for sure. And even then, I can only imagine the amount of head-ons people would have had on their horses. You know, can you imagine just Bojangles and Red Rider just running straight into each other on these stupid fucking narrow roads? And now they expect to have two-way streets of cars on them.
It is just stupid. Like the back streets of like Enmore specifically kill me, bro.
Yeah, they are worse than Marrickville.
When I used to work at the Queen's Hotel, like parking for work was like fucked.
You had to like.
I had to get really good at it because otherwise it was just like a dog eat dog world, bro.
You'd have to give yourself like an extra 15 minutes of travel time to be safe.
Yeah,
to get to work at any time,
and to give myself like 5 minutes to walk to work with my car. Like I'm not fucking
5 to 10 minutes of walking.
It was generally like that. Once I went to Highway Bar and I made the dumb decision of driving, and it was like a Saturday night. Like I parked, I think it was like 3 kilometers away from Highway Bar.
I will say the last couple of times I've driven to Newtown, which wrong.
Exactly. Just don't do it.
I've gotten lucky.
Yeah.
I've definitely gotten lucky. I don't really know what it is. I have been pretty lucky with parking in general lately.
One of my favorite moments parking in Newtown was when I parked in front of Bikini Bar.
Yeah.
Which is like Highway Bar's like sister bar.
Yeah.
And I was just like, wow, this is a fucking steal. Easy spot. Yeah. No worries. And then Claire, the like bartender who used to work there, she comes out and she's like, whose car's that? And I'm like, me. Woo. I was like, good so spot, stoked about it. She was like, you can't park there. And I was like, huh? She's like, see, it says like, you know, from what I understand, it was like a no stopping zone or whatever. Yeah. But no, I think it was like clear way from this time to this time.
3 to 7 or something.
So I thought, oh, it's not 3 to 7, so I'll park here. But she's like, but it's no stopping at any time. And I was like, huh? So why is there a clear way sign if there's no stopping at any time? And she's like, your guess is as good as mine.
I that's another thing. I think we've held 2 major plug fests so far, right? Both of those, a couple of people have come up to me like a few days later saying, yeah, I got a parking ticket.
Oh no.
Like, yeah, it's so common. The revenue there, like whoever's like, oh God,
they are like fucking on you.
It is
like,
intense.
You cannot like think, oh, I'll just give it another 5 minutes. I'll be fine. It's not going to happen when you're in Newtown.
Do not.
Like, that's the funny part is like, you know, Glebe, which I think's very similar in terms of parking.
Yeah.
But much more lenient. Like, I park in no stopping zones in Glebe.
Less patrolled for sure.
All the time and like never have an issue. Yeah. I never get tickets in Glebe. But like, as soon as you go to like, literally like Ultimo, as soon as you go to Newtown, like neighbouring suburbs, it's like they're on
the shit you pull off at Jack's house.
Yeah.
You could not do that anywhere else.
Newtown. No,
nowhere else.
Like,
nowhere else.
Maybe like this far out, you know, but as soon as you get to like Stratford, there's no such thing as like 2 hour parking.
Dude, I remember I was dropping something off to this place in Mascot on it was like O'Riordan Street or like on a street off of O'Riordan Street. And like there's a no stopping zone across the road on a side street in front of some apartments, right? And it's just like the space before the driveway, and it's like a few meters before it's like a road again. So I stopped there because I was like, I'm just dropping something off. I'm gonna put my car there, not even turn it off. Put my car there, walk across the road, walk back across the road. Done. I got a ticket. And they like fully stopped to like take photos of my van. Like they had time to like pull up, get out of the car, take photos of the van, get back in the car, and then drive away.
Yeah.
Before I walked across the street and back.
That happened to Mikey once. He was, when we were at work at H, there's a bunch of 2-hour car spots at the front, ticketed as well. He just pulls in, comes inside to get the key to park in our space, walks back out, has like sees the guy giving him a ticket, and he's like, I literally just came here to get the key so I can go park in an actual spot. And he just said like, oh, you have to contest like through the website and all this shit. Like I can't just like not give it to you. I'm like, why, bro? Why can't you just not give it to him?
Who are these fucking narcs, dude?
Like that's what I mean. Like do they tell you in like fucking, I don't know, parking ticket school?
Do they threaten rangers with a fine or something like that?
That's what I mean.
With like a huge fine?
And like that's another thing. Like I was on the bus the other day, and like this is getting into transport news. I don't want to.
We barely got into suburbs and parking, but yeah, we barely got into suburbs rather.
And like there was a bunch of kids coming on, and the bus driver's like, "Make sure you tap on," and I'm like, "Why do you give a shit? You're getting paid. Just
why do you
let the kids not tap on? Like bloody kids, you know? We're like stealing money from children right now, bro."
And it's not even like the government; it's a private fucking company.
Like I've tested a few times now where I'm just like no, I'm not fucking tapping on, bro. Fuck this. Like whenever I'm in a bad mood, I'm just like, fuck you guys, I'm fucking tapping on.
The light rail is the steal. I will say.
I mean, light rail is the easiest. I think bus is actually probably easier to get away with it, but yeah, if you see someone not tap on a bus, it's because they want to try and save money somehow.
It's not because they're a fucking criminal.
Yeah, legit, bro.
It's not because they're not doing their part for society. Like they're going somewhere if they're on the bus.
And don't even get me started on society, bro.
Oh gosh.
Why do we got to do a part for society? Okay, I won't get too far into it.
Why do I have to have a job?
But yeah, look, we'll get into that in the anti-work episode, which is coming up soon.
Yeah.
Look forward to that.
Suburbs. You wanted to talk about suburbs.
Well, I mean, I already kind of have. And more
Newtown, Glebe. Yeah, sure.
I think I was going to talk more about Glebe, because I think Glebe is probably the worst offender suburb in terms of like two-way streets that should just be one-way streets, even though I hate one-way streets.
Yeah. I think it would be 100% more effective.
But there's some one-way streets that I'm like, this does not need to be a one-way street, but it is the opposite in Glebe. There are so many two-way streets where I'm like, this needs to be a one-way street, otherwise we're literally going to get in a situation where I've been in situations where I've had to reverse down like 20 meters of road because there's cars parked on either side. There's a car coming up this way. I literally just have to reverse until there's not a car parked, so I can
there's
duck behind.
Illawarra Road in Marrickville is criminal of that, for sure. It just gets thinner and thinner the further north you go. Like it's pretty intense.
And I find it really funny how I think the further you get from the city, like the wider the roads become.
Yeah, for sure.
And I think it gets better and better the further you get out. But like, you know, there's some places where it's like, oh, we still have issues from the city that have grown into like Leichhardt, for example. Like the streets when I lived in Leichhardt, like Tebbit Street and stuff like that.
Oh my god, dude!
They've got sides to them, places you can park. I think decently sized roads, but then there's just some weird fucking 2-hour parking limits and stuff like that just probably shouldn't exist.
The 2-hour parking limit in a fucking place is insane to me.
The fact that we lived on a 2-hour parking, that street should not have been. It
was literally like a place. Like you couldn't drive through it. It was like not even 100 meters long.
Yeah,
and it just ended.
There's no way someone's there's no way they take the 2-hour parking limit off and it's just all hell breaks loose.
No, of course not.
In fact, I think hell broke loose because they put a parking limit. It's just
insane to me that somebody can get a parking ticket for parking at the front of their house.
Yeah. Which I never got more parking tickets than.
I think I definitely got a couple there. I didn't even live there, but you get the point, right? It was crap. I have some more streets I would like to. I don't know if you're
hit me.
I don't know how familiar you are with let's say Stony Creek Road. It's close to Forest Road. Comes off of Kingsgrove Road, and I think Bexley meets up with it at some point. No, it doesn't. That's a lie. But it meets up with Forest Road at some point. It's crap.
Yeah,
It's pretty crap. Well, actually, no, sorry. There's a part of it that's really, really good, and there's a part of it that's really, really bad. But now that I've mentioned it, Kingsgrove Road, 4.5 out of 5.
Damn.
It is one of the worst roads that you will ever have to drive on, because it's like Parramatta Road but thinner.
Yeah. Oh, you know what I was thinking? One I also kind of forgot about. Shout out to like my old stomping grounds, but Narellan Road.
Oh,
Contender for a 5 out of 5.
holy shit! I forgot. I don't like visiting my parents because I have to drive on Narellan Road.
You don't even have to drive on Narellan Road.
Briefly.
Like, you should just take the first Campbelltown exit, bro.
Yeah, Campbelltown Road's so much better. Going through Woodbine is better. You're right.
When I used to drive from my place to uni at like 6:30 in the morning or
Narellan
something,
Road.
I would drive through Mount Enon. Just skip Narellan Road.
There you
Fuck
go.
it.
Yeah, fuck it.
Not worth it. Saves so much time.
Yeah, 100%.
It was crazy. I'm like, why aren't other people doing this? Like, I would, off the bypass, turn right into Mount Enon.
Yeah.
And then literally go all the way through Mount Enon until like the botanical
lights,
gardens, lights, and like just skip that whole section, and like it would save me like half an hour at sometimes.
You know, while we're on it, M5 is probably a contender for 5 out of 5. Just either direction in the morning or in the afternoon.
The fact that there's traffic on a motorway, like I know it's just like, of course, it's traffic on a motorway.
It doesn't even need to be like an accident that's happened or anything.
But that's why motorways were invented, bro.
Why are we paying a private company for this road that is still bad? Like imagine, oh my god, dude, like imagine if I was set up next to like the fucking Hilton Hotel, right? And then I just built like a box fort and I was like, $7.
Legit, bro. What the fuck? Tolls are so stupid.
Oh my god, they're insane. And like the way the tolls work is stupid as well. Let me get into this really quickly. If you're going Bexley Road, right? If you're going Bexley Road towards Campbelltown, if you're going west, you get on the motorway at Bexley Road. That is not the M5. That is the M5 East, okay? The M5 East cost $8 to use. And then...
Cost me 2 cups of coffee to go visit my parents, bro. But they're taxing me to visit my mum and dad.
It probably... I don't know how much you're paying for coffee, but it probably costs more, because if you go from Bexley Road, that's $8, but to go any further than King George's is another $5. $13 if you're going from Bexley Road.
That's
$13.
3 cups of coffee.
Why? What?
Tolls?
And then there's the M8, which is even more expensive. The new fucking North
M4,
Connects,
bro?
the M4.
Like, that is just egregious.
I remember the first time I got in the M8, I used it for work, and the cameras like thought I was a truck, so I got charged $24 for using it. $24. If you drive a vehicle of a certain size, it costs $24, even if it's not like for a company.
I love when I drive my boss's car for like work deliveries, because he just goes, oh yeah, just
use the tolls.
And I'm like, this is such a luxury,
well,
bro.
Maddie's dad pays for the tolls in her car, because otherwise we would be broke.
Oh yeah, I mean, my dad pays for my tolls as well.
Yeah, so whenever we have to go to like Campbelltown, 100%.
But like, I mean, that's the only time I go. Like, my dad's like, I'll pay for you to visit us.
Yeah.
That's
a nice premise,
I don't think
he just shouldn't have to.
Yeah, no. I mean, tolls. I mean, look, we're verging on
Transport.
Stupid fucking society. Talk again. But like, why do we have to pay to drive on roads? But I mean, at the same time, why do I have to pay to live here, bro?
What's the fucking point?
Communism?
Not that bad. Not that bad.
Think about it, guys.
I don't know. Again, I'm just going to keep going roads that I have gripes with, because I have lots of gripes with lots of roads. Homer Street and William Street. It's like a Enmore Road, King Street sort of situation.
We haven't barely even spoken about King Street.
No, we'll get there. I've got it written down. So Homer Street and William Street, I'm going to basically count them as the same thing. I don't know if it's because it's the roads that are right before I get to work.
Yeah, we'll check a lot of that.
But every time I use Homer Street or William Street in any direction for any purpose, I sink into a great dark depression. a very dark depression. Also because Earlwood is one of the shittest suburbs
Elwood, bro.
to drive through. It is so depressing there. It is insanely depressing. Nobody looks happy on Earlwood.
I want to know who Earl is.
Who's Earl?
Why did he get cursed?
Oh god! Oh my god, dude! Like, anyway. So Homer Street and William Street, crap.
Sorry,
Absolutely.
I'm just
crap.
looking at some of these.
Crystal Street. Are you familiar with Crystal Street? Comes off of Parramatta Road and goes to Old Canterbury or New Canterbury Road, I think.
I think so. Is that
It's where the 7-Eleven is. It's where you turn
Crystal
right.
Street. I'm aware.
Yeah.
Shit road.
Shit road. Shit road. Similar in a sense where it's like, getting onto it, first of all, it's like you're gonna smash your bumper on the road from any street. Oh my god, there's some side streets, man. There are some side streets. Coroner Road, I don't know if anyone's familiar. Corunna. Oh my god, one of the worst roads to drive.
I'm just reading more of your roads.
Missenden Road, the road that goes to RPA, the hospital.
Oh yeah.
Crap.
So many
Imagine being in an ambulance dying.
I was gonna say so many speed humps, and I'm like, surely that's not good for ambulances.
Imagine being in an ambulance, literally fucking dying, going over speed humps at 40 fucking kilometers in a fucking single lane. Imagine.
Yeah, look, I don't know about that. I don't know who was thinking like, let's make this a single lane road. For
Stupid.
a hospital.
We spoke about Princess Highway briefly. Eastern Distributor. Are you familiar? Goes like on the outside of Redfern. It's rubbish.
As in,
Takes you into the city, takes you to
goes past past the airport, or
I don't know if it goes
I
past
think that's
the airport.
Princess Highway kind of.
Yeah, that's I think that's literally like Southern Cross Drive you're thinking of. But I'm familiar. Botany Road we spoke about. Now Enmore Road and King Street, which is worse?
I think it's easy. King Street.
King Street?
I mean, most of it is King Street already.
Yeah,
Because Emerald Road's only that one little part till it gets to Victoria Road.
Because I was thinking the same thing. Because purely by the fact that there's more of King Street than there is of Emerald Road, I'll go King Street.
To be fair, that part of King Street that before it snakes off into the rest of King Street and Emerald Road is the worst part.
Oh yeah, you reckon?
Yeah, before you snake off to Emerald Road and King Street is that. Driving through there is just awful.
Yeah.
I've taken sometimes 20 minutes to get from fucking
the top of it to the
Vanguard to fucking Bank Hotel.
It is really bad.
It's just bad.
I was gonna say that because I thought that in terms of where they meet up, if we're only talking about the separate King Street and the separate Enmore Road and only up until where they connect, I think I might prefer King Street, to be honest.
Yeah, honestly, that's a fair take.
Yeah.
I think they're very similar.
I respect the King Street slowing it down to 40 k's an hour. I respect that.
Yeah.
That makes a lot of sense. Just because the road is narrower than Enmore, I'd say. Enmore Road being 40, meh.
I think when we get to King Street, past the Vanguard towards the city, going through UCID.
Yeah, where it becomes City Road or something. Or?
Yeah. That shouldn't be 40, I don't think.
Yeah, that's.
I think going through Newtown 40 easy, but
once you get to Vanguard, speed it up.
Dare I say 60? Really?
Dare I say 60?
Because
it's one straight, very big road.
Yeah, legit. Oh my god, and don't even get me started on fucking when you get to Cleveland Street, off that.
Oh.
And it just shoves you in a right turning lane.
Oh my god.
So many times I've been fucked over by that. And I'm I have to turn
Cleveland Street's a close formula. Cleveland Street's
top 3 worst roads for sure.
It's pretty fucked.
I can't believe we didn't even talk about Cleveland Street.
Marion Street. Where the fuck's Marion Street? Oh, Leichhardt. That's a pretty good one, actually. You can usually send it pretty quickly down there.
One that you have written, Marrickville Road, that I actually don't think is that bad. I think it's because it's not busy, ever.
Yeah, I think the amount of traffic lights is what does it for me.
That's fair.
And they're so consistently spaced that it drives me a little bit insane. You know what I mean? And it's at every traffic light, it feels like there's somebody fucking breaking the law somehow. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Every time on Marrickville Road or on a road that intersects with Marrickville Road, every time I pull up to a traffic light, it feels like there's one of a few things, right? There's somebody running a red light. There's somebody merging where they shouldn't be merging. There's a crackhead in the middle of the street,
happens more often than you think.
Happens more often than you think, or there's police. There's so many police in Marrickville constantly.
Yeah,
all through the day.
I'm so just sick of there's just the lack of right turning lanes in Sydney, and I think it just comes back to the fact that when it was just first designed, it was just designed so poorly. Like I just don't understand in what realm they thought having streets as narrow as they are in like Glebe and Newtown and Emil would have been a good thing. Like
I'm telling you,
even like you said, even when they're clopping around on their horses,
they would get too they would get too close. The horses would spook each other.
Imagine 2 carriages, bro.
Oh my god!
And there's still people parking in carriages.
Oh my god!
Bro.
I've just remembered now that you're talking about streets in Glebe. I was coming up through Glebe after getting some lunch or something, and I was turning left onto Glebe Point Road. I'm not exactly sure where, but there was this dude on one of those like real like one of those bicycles that like is not meant for like speed or agility, is meant for like, it's like a cruising bicycle. Yeah. You know what I mean? It's not like a fucking mountain bike.
And he's just sending it.
This dude is fucking sending it, and this is the thing, right? I'm pretty sure he like sent it over like a pedestrian crossing, like, and people were like crossing, and he just sending it. This dude in like shorts, thongs, a helmet, and sunnies. You know, he was wearing a shirt, but it doesn't matter. But he was in shorts and thongs and sunnies, right? Yeah. He was just sending it down this fucking road, and like, I'm about to turn left and I fucking see him because he's not like wearing high vis or anything. The bicycle wheels are like fucking 3 centimeters thick. This dude's practically invisible, but I see him. I spot him coming up, and he's going so fucking fast. He goes to turn right. So I'm like looking at an intersection, like a 4-way intersection. He's coming from the east of me, right? And then he's turning north, so he's turning right in front of me. He's going so fast that when he goes to turn right, he just eats shit.
Oh no.
He just eats it. Just skids like a few meters. This dude in shorts. This dude just eats shit. Like I said, this bicycle was not designed for turning corners quickly or going quickly at all. It was the kind of bike that you would put a cute basket on the front. You know what I mean?
Dude, I've seen some poor behavior from bike riders recently.
It's bike riders with kids on their bike as well.
That's fucking insane.
I've seen some poor behavior.
I've just seen some
Happy Wheel shit.
I've just seen some people who've clearly not ridden bikes before.
On the street, yeah, especially, yeah.
Like, you know, moving at like glacial speeds, but like pedaling like this. Yeah. And I'm like, get a bike with gears and put it in fifth, mate. It's not hard. I genuinely like, I've ridden bikes before.
Yeah.
I understand how gears work. It's not that hard. And I'm just like, am I stupid? Is there something I'm like not thinking about where I'm like, I see people like, because I was saying this to Mikey the other day when we were in the car, and I'm like, look at that guy who's just like pedaling like no tomorrow. And he's like, yeah, people like to do that because like it's like, you know, good for a work. And I'm like, not when you're commuting.
No, not when you're on the fucking
go for a workout in the park.
Yeah, you know what I mean. Like I'm not fucking lifting weights in the middle of the fucking street because like the adrenaline makes me build muscle faster. Like,
but it's like,
I didn't give a shit.
Has more control or whatever. I'm just like, learn to just ride a bike. Just learn to ride a bike.
Well, that's what I'm saying, especially about this dude on his fucking dingy little piece of shit. Like,
and like, I get it. I totally get like transitioning from a car to a bike.
100%.
It's better for the environment. You don't have to pay for parking.
Do it right.
Like, it's just more efficient in that method.
It's cheaper.
Learn to ride it. Like,
I was thinking about this today, how much better the world would be if they just didn't invent cars and went straight to motorbikes.
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, it would be.
It would be better. It would be safer.
Look, I've been to Vietnam before, and there are basically no road rules there. It's just go for it, you know? But like, they don't really have issues because everyone rides mopeds and bikes and shit.
Yeah.
And it's like, don't get me wrong, there is some really highly congested areas and stuff like that. But like, you know, people just be driving down the motorway. Like, who gives a shit about lanes? We're driving bikes, you know? We're not going to fucking get into a bike accident. Like, what am I going to do? Like accidentally get too close to someone else. I'm like, it's almost impossible to get into an accident.
It's actually very hard to have a bike-on-bike accident if there's no cars around. Like, you'd have to royally fuck up. And even when you did, like, unless you're going fast as shit, you're probably gonna be okay. Like, if it's just a bike-on-bike accident. And then there's if you're wearing all the right equipment and stuff like that.
There's places like Amsterdam, for example, where it's like, you know, people don't even drive cars. There's not even roads.
What is cars? What is this?
What car?
What is this automobile? What?
And like, it works, bro. Like, it fucking. I mean, those fucking what do you call it? Dutch people. Like, they got smart brains.
Yeah, but, I think Sydney as well is just so grand compared to somewhere like, it's just too big.
It like, and it just like, but we're coming to like the last 5 minutes.
Yeah, we are,
This will be a good way to wrap it up. 'Cause, I just don't get how we designed this city so poorly. Because if you think about
I'm
it,
telling you, everybody was drunk.
Sydney is one of the, like, I guess, if we're talking about like history,
Yeah.
newer cities, like
Yeah.
in terms of like some of the big ones, you know, like it's one of the newer ones with like, you know, we had
Yeah.
like 1700 years of history to like be like, okay, here's how we not fuck up, and somehow we fucked up more than anybody else.
It really
has.
is one of the much younger cities compared to places like fucking London or something.
Like that's what I mean, and like, look, I can't say for
Rome.
like I can't say for how easy it is to drive in there. Like I never really driven in London or Rome or whatever, but like, you know, I fucking seen that episode of Hamish and Andy where they like race the black cabs, you know, like
Yeah, sure.
and those motherfuckers seem to be getting around pretty quickly.
Yeah.
There's no issues.
I mean, it does feel like
I just like
Sydney has like the traffic of like New York, but is like half of the age for some reason. Like,
and like it's clearly not like I don't think like as much as you're saying everyone was fucking pissed or whatever, but like it's not a drunk issue. Like Melbourne, they've got that shit on gridlock, bro.
True.
Like, and they've got rules which make so much sense.
Yeah.
Like the turning left to go right.
Yep.
Like at first you're like, huh? But like after you think about it for a second,
it's
like,
literally
makes a lot of
it's
sense.
literally a design that was like made by like some French guy like a few years ago.
It's genius.
That has been proven in like, and it's like been put to the test in America. That is proven to just solve traffic.
And how about the old you know, free trams if you're in the city centre?
Bro.
Like there's shit happening like 8 hours away that
What are we doing
people
here?
are saying like, nah, it's not possible. It's not.
What are we doing?
Happen. Like, what the fuck you mean it's not possible? Like the next closest capital city to us is nailing it, and we're like, we look.
Who even knows what? Who
do.
even knows? Like, I think like Canberra as well.
That's what I mean. Like
Driving through Canberra, I'm like, there's nobody here. Nobody lives. Why are there so little cars on the road?
Yeah. Oh god, bro.
Sydney is just bad.
Sydney, like I was saying before, I just think it's built in a really stupid spot.
I'd love to know why.
Place to. Well, I mean, it was like the first place to be settled in Australia, so like it kind of makes sense. I guess they didn't really plan ahead. You know, they didn't think, yeah, this is kind of a shit place to settle, isn't it? They were like, oh, free land, let's go for it, guys. Like,
oh my god, yeah. They had the audacity to build a prison in the middle of the bay, but were like, we could also live here.
And like, surely there had to be one guy who was like, there's a lot of fucking hills. Like, like it doesn't even take a rocket scientist, bro.
Yeah,
you ever played the game Minecraft? You ever thought, man, I'd love to live here, but it just isn't viable. Like, I have to carve out this mountain if I'm going to live here. Like, it's the same concept for real life, bro.
Just look for somewhere just a little bit
If you have
flatter.
to, you know, carve out a mountain to live there, maybe just
the way I think about
else.
it is, you know, like the botanical gardens in like Circular Quay, right?
Mm.
That whole landscape is so hilly and up and down and curved and fucked, right? But it's beautiful to walk through. And for some reason, they built a city that is entirely that is entirely just fucked. In a topographical sense, just a shit fight.
It just doesn't make any sense. Like, I don't know who saw it and was like, yeah, we need to build here. Like, this is good.
They were obviously in a rush.
Yeah. I mean, you know.
I blame the Queen.
Yeah. I blame England.
I blame England. I blame England for most of my troubles.
And then we can chase
England
that
and
back.
Spain.
From England, I blame Rome. From Rome, I blame... what they called, the Phoenicians.
Sure.
The Phoenicians.
Yeah.
I just blame humanity, really.
Yeah, I blame the genes that I blame the fact that natural selection didn't start happening early. Because there was just no people to bone. There were no options.
Yeah. So yeah, basically
Sydney Road's bad.
Sydney Road's bad. Think I might move to Goulburn. There's a big sheep there.
There is a big sheep. There's
And
also lots of jobs there. Apparently.
Yeah, well, it's going to become the next metropolitan area, bro. Because, you know, there's too many people here.
There you go. Can't wait.
I mean, there was too many people here, like 4 million people ago, you know, like, Jesus Christ.
Yeah, it hasn't fucking stopped growing either.
But yeah.
Sydney Road's bad. If you have any other Sydney roads that you wish were named,
Yeah, what didn't we drop?
what didn't we drop? You know,
any quick ones? I mean,
Northern
Victoria,
Road's obviously a big
Victoria,
one. Camden Bypass is a pretty good one.
Bypass is sweet.
What's the road that goes right through Camden? Argyle Street.
Argyle Street. like pretty based.
Pretty fine. I think the length, or the lack thereof, makes it good. Queen Street also good for a road that's so thin, and only one lane each way.
Like I'm saying, you get further away from the city, the better it gets.
The better they get. The better they get.
Comment your least
Campbelltown
favorite road in Sydney.
Comment your favorite road in Sydney. That's something we didn't get into, but it's kind of hard to
I don't really think I have a favorite.
Neither do I. They're all pretty bad, so.
And yeah, maybe hopefully one day we can just use the undo button on the roads and fix them up.
As Josh said earlier, if somebody's trying to merge,
let them merge.
Just let them in.
Even if they are a piece of shit.
Just let them in.
Anyway, I'll catch you in the next one.
So long, farewell, auf Wiedersehen.